Last week, if you remember, we met Angie adjective here. Her adjectives tell you more about nouns. But if adjectives tell you more about nouns, what about verbs? What sort of word can you use to tell you more about a verb? Well, that's what Ashley here does. He looks after the words that can fill in all sorts of details about what's happening in a sentence. The word that answers the question how, when, and where. It's called an adverb. Let's look at that first question. How? How does something happen?
All right, everybody, darlings, lovies, coffee break over, back to rehearsal, please. Now, Emma, we'll start with you, Emma, darling, lovey. Right. Top of page 16. Got it? Good, good. Positions, everybody. And cue. Darling, lovey, no, no, no.
But it says here she knocks on the door. Top of page 16, yes?
Yes, 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 but have you thought about how she knocks on the door?
How?
Yes, how? Let me see. I think we might try it slowly.
Slowly, right.
Super, marvellous, but not quite right. Shall we try it quickly? We're not getting any sort of feeling for this. What about sadly?
Sadly, right.
Sadly was good, but not quite right. Let's try it wildly. I think we might tone it down a bit. What about cheerfully? Oh, it's lovely, but it's not quite right.
How about gently? Angrily?
No.
Romantically?
No.
Wearily?
No, they just don't speak to me.
I've got an idea. Why don't you ring the bell?
I've got a better idea. Why don't I ring my agent immediately?
How adverbs do the same for verbs as adjectives do for nouns. They add some description. Adjectives add something to nouns. Adverbs add something to verbs. They've got a lot in common. In fact, if you look hard at the words, you'll see that many how adverbs have a great deal in common with adjectives. In many cases, by adding ly to adjectives, you can form adverbs. But adverbs can answer other questions besides how. There are adverbs that tell us when something happens or where something happens. Adverbs can even latch on to adjectives or other adverbs to fill in a bit more detail. Words like extremely, absolutely, terribly, rather, very. They're all adverbs. They are here, there, and everywhere, filling in the background detail of how, when, and where. I think it's time we met Ashley Adverb properly.
Whenever you find a word, you'll find a word at work. Whenever you find a word, you'll find a word at work.
Words can name.
Words can happen. Words can describe and compare.
Words can stand in place of others. Words can tell you how, when, and where. Words can point. Words can help.
Words can link. Words can yell.
Woo! Whenever you find a word, you'll find a word at work. Whenever you find a word, you'll find a word at work.
Yabba-dabba-doo!
This is the wonderful world of words with your host, Miss Gloria Garbo.
Thank you. Thanks. Welcome back to the wonderful world of words. the show where you meet the personalities behind English grammar. Now, our next guest is a difficult chap to pin down. In fact, we're not even able to get him here to join us in the studio because he's out, as usual, on an urgent assignment, finding out how, when and where something happened. Ladies and gentlemen, he can't be here with us, but through the power of television we can join him out there on location, the Sentences roving reporter, Mr. Ashley Adverb. Hello, Ashley.
Hello there.
Ashley, could you show us how your adverbs fill in the background detail of a sentence?
Yes, indeed. Well, this is Mr. Peabody, who lives next door to a volcano. Now, this volcano was thought to be extinct, but Mr. Peabody contacted us today with this sentence. It was, I heard the volcano rumble. So I'm here to see how much background I can fill in on that sentence.
Wonderful. The how, when and where of it, eh, Ashley?
That's right. We'll start with the where. Mr. Peabody, could you tell us where you were when you heard the volcano rumble?
Here. I was here.
Right here?
Or, that be right. Here.
So that's outside and nearby.
Or, that be right. Outside and nearby.
Good. Well, that's where dealt with. And when did you hear it rumble?
Ooh, it started yesterday.
Yesterday.
Or, that be right. Yesterday. But I've heard it again today.
I see. Again today. Often, in fact?
Oh, yes, often. Frequently.
Again. Today. Often. Frequently.
It's doing it now.
Good Lord, so it is. Now. Right. Well, that's when dealt with. Let's look at how. This brings us to the rumbling. Mr. Peabody, how would you say the volcano rumbled?
Ooh, faintly to start with.
Faintly.
Then loudly.
Loudly.
Violently even.
Violently.
Definitely.
Deafeningly.
In fact, I've got a new sentence for you, young man.
Yes.
That volcano is going to erupt.
Ashley Adverb, in trouble!
Well, that's Ashley Adverb, ladies and gentlemen. Always right where the action is. The Sentences roving reporter, giving us the how, the when and the where. And that's all from me. Good night.
Something's happening, how, where, when, quickly, slowly, now or then, madly, sadly, here or there. Adverbs tell you how, when, where.
Ashley Adverb certainly gets about, doesn't he? And his words give us plenty of information. The trouble is, some of those when and where adverbs are almost too full of meaning for their own good. There's a limit to the amount of information one word can carry. Well, look who we have here. It's Mr. Peabody, isn't it?
Or, that be right.
Could it be that you're in need of some phrases, Mr. Peabody?
Or, that be right.
Well, what exactly seems to be the problem then?
Well, it's like this. Those when and where adverbs I used to answer young Ashley's questions.
In the interview?
Or, in the interview. Well, they only work when I was where I was when I said them.
When you where you were? You mean in your garden, near the volcano?
Or, that be right. He asked me where I was when I heard the volcano, and I said here.
I remember.
Well, I was here then, but I'm not there now, am I? At least, I'm here now, but this year's different from that year. I mean, that year's there, now that I'm here, if you see what I mean.
Yes.
And he asked me when, and I said no. Well, it was no then, but it isn't no, is it?
No. Well, it's a different now, and a different here.
Or, that be right, young man. You get the idea. Here and now. They change according to where you are.
Well, that's the trouble with a lot of these when and where adverbs, Mr. Peabody. They're stuck in the here and now. You have to be with whoever's speaking to know what they're talking about. In the very same place, at the very same time. Sharing a context.
Sharing a context?
That's right. The best thing might be to build yourself some phrases. Now, these little words I have here might come in handy. Prepositions.
Prepositions? What do they do then?
Tell you about them later. Let's build the phrases first. So, let's put these into the computer. In, beside, near, and ask the question, where were you standing? In the garden. Beside the farmhouse. Near the volcano.
Wonderful. Those explain where I was.
And when did you hear the volcano? On? In? Around? And when did you hear the volcano? On Tuesday the 28th of April? In the afternoon? Around 2 o'clock.
Remarkable. It's Tuesday the 28th of April, in the afternoon, around 2 o'clock. That's when, all right.
Good, eh? Filling us in the here and now of your experience, even though we weren't there to see it.
First-rate, young man.
Brilliant little phrases. You can use them just like you'd use an adverb to say when, or where, or even how sometimes. And it all depends on those little words at the beginning. Prepositions. All of them made by Preppy there. Our brilliant language technician.
Is he another word at work, then?
He's a word at work, all right. There's none works harder. But you won't find him in chat shows. He's more the quiet, unassuming type. Typical boffin. His words are almost pure grammar. Look at them. They don't mean much by themselves. By, with, from, in, over. But put them at the beginning of a phrase and they can make everything make sense.
What did you say they were called?
Prepositions. It's a good word, really. P-R-E, pre, means at the front of. And they generally come at the front of phrases. Look, here's a few examples. Round the bend, over the rainbow, to the beach, up the wall, with a big smile, before breakfast, after the volcano, through the door.
Through the door. That's where I'm going. Through the door, to my house, with the phrases. Thanks very much, young man. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. Time for a song, I think.
If you got a word that you want to expand, let me give you a helping hand. I'm the phrase maker. A word alone's under the weather. Words work best when they work together with the phrase maker. If you want your words to have precision, start your phrase with a preposition. When you build a phrase, it's a latest craze. We'll build a phrase, it's all the rage with a phrase maker. With the phrase maker.
Build those crazy phrases.
A bit busy today. Good morning, madam. What can I do for you?
Hello. I'd like a few phrases, please.
A few phrases?
Yes, that's right, phrases. You know the sort of thing. A group of words that work together to make a chunk of sense.
I most certainly do. I'm a phrase maker by profession. But I was just wondering, what were you going to do with these phrases?
I'm going to put them together to make a bigger chunk of sense. I'm going to make some clauses.
Clauses?
That's right, clauses. Now, can you help me?
Oh, I most certainly can. It's every phrase maker's ambition to go on to be a clause maker. We start small, with phrases, but then through practice and patience, we go on to the big time, with clauses and sentences even.
Oh, good. Excellent. I'm glad I can help you achieve your ambition. Now, what phrase do you suggest I start with? A verb phrase, perhaps?
Yes, a verb phrase, definitely. You cannot have a clause without a verb. A verb is absolutely essential in clause building. Now, how about this one? A good, solid verb phrase. Nothing too complicated.
Yes, that'll do, thanks. Now, I'll need a subject for the verb. Someone or something to do the verb.
Yes, a subject for the verb. The who or what that will sing. A noun phrase, that's what you need. How about this one? A nice, simple noun phrase. Nothing too fussy. I made it for a young man a couple of weeks ago. He seemed very pleased with it.
Oh, it looks very good to me. I'll have it.
There you are. So, you've got your verb.
The thing that happens.
And you've got your subject.
The who or what that makes it happen.
Now all you've got to do is...
join them together.
And hey presto,
we've got
a clause. The huge blue furry monster will sing.
I certainly will.
You take a subject, you take a verb. It seems so simple, it seems absurd. But baby, only connect. You take a subject, you make a link. Your mind is open, now you can think. Yes, baby, only connect.
Connect. That's what you did. You connected the subject and the verb. You've made a basic clause. Now, how about a selection of phrases that you could add to the main bit? There's this, his latest hit. Or there's this, with great feeling. Or there's this, before breakfast.
Oh, they'll do fine. I can try lots of different ways of adding these to my clause base.
Well, have fun. It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
And you, sir. Thank you very much.
Song time again.
If you got a subject and you got a verb, crazy phrases, ain't they superb? You can build a clause that's yours, all yours. You can build a clause, hear that applause. You're a clause maker. A phrase alone don't spark an idea, but a subject and verb can make it clear. Be a clause maker. When you build a clause, there's wild applause. When you build a clause and the monster roars. Clause maker. You're a clause maker. Just explore those clauses.
I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but that's a sentence. And it is. A single clause can be a sentence all on its own. We use them all the time, especially when we talk. But when we write, we often use longer and more complicated sentences. We'll have a look at them next time. Bye.
Whenever you find a word, you'll find a word at work. Whenever you find a word, you'll find a word at work.
Words can name.
Words can happen. Words can describe and compare.
Words can stand in place of others. Words can tell you how, when, and where. Words can point. Words can help.
Words can link. Words can yelp.
Ooh! Whenever you find a word,